This episode of the Digital Tourism Show is brought to you today by booking platform tourpanda.com. It's been just over a year since one of my episodes on the digital battle for tours and activities, which at the time I thought would have been a one-off piece of content, but now may actually become a yearly event. With so much has changed during the last year, with the likes of Booking Holdings acquiring FareHarbor, AirBNB investing in Tiqets, as well as the fight for our sector between these OTAs and Google. Not only that, but we have seen Booking Holdings put a hold on activities, Expedia sacking their senior management, and TripAdvisor making over 200 people redundant, Dermot Haplin being moved on, and TripAdvisor splitting their tours and activities side back to Viator. The battle is truly underway. Google is making big strides into the tours and activity space, testing the water out with the likes of Touring Bird, which has now been closed and folded into their travel team, making tours and activities bookable within Google Search and Maps, bypassing the OTAs. Well, those OTAs not also directly integrated, which I'm still against, by the way. Everyone wants a piece of the tours and activities pie, and no wonder with a reported worth of 180 billion, and that will only continue to grow. However, this episode is not intended to discuss who purchased who. I want to highlight a major and, in my honest opinion, dangerous situation many OTAs are given tour and activity providers in regards of competing for direct bookings. It may even have a detrimental effect on Google's business and that of the operator. I have said it before and I will say it again. If rather than focusing on your own marketing efforts and channels, you rely heavily on an OTA and other platforms to send you bookings and generate most of your revenue, then you do not have a business. You are nothing more than a commodity to them. Now, this may be no issue for you, and if it's not, power to you. However, most businesses I speak to want to grow their brand and their business and not be under the rule of another. Now, this is why most of us become business owners in the first place. The issue I have in this battle for our industry means that it's becoming harder for any tour activity business who wants to grow direct bookings through Google, whether that be through search or Google Ads, because large OTAs like TripAdvisor and Booking Holdings are spending obscene amounts of revenue that they generate from the commission that they charge you to compete, well, against you. These organisations are competing against the very suppliers and businesses that grew their brands in the first place. Why? Because they simply want more of your hard-earned profit margins than people booking direct with you. Most of the time, the OTAs are making a loss in doing so just to capture your customers for future bookings on their platform. To give you an example, doing a search for Barcelona bike tours displayed ads for Fat Tire Tours and that of TripAdvisor. The top tour on the TripAdvisor listing was the same product that Fat Tire Tours was promoting in their ad. This means that they are effectively paying twice the cost of the ad and then the commission that may be taken from them if that customer decides to book through TripAdvisor. This is driving up the cost of things like Google Ads, making it more expensive for the operators to compete on direct bookings. So the operators are paying for Google Ads, any other marketing channels, commissions through OTAs, sometimes commissions on payments, plus their overall operating costs. This is simply not sustainable for tour and activity suppliers, and it must change in the favour of the operator. Speaking with the equally outspoken Peter Syme, owner of Splash and 1,000 Mile Journeys, he too has abandoned Google Ads as a marketing channel in favour for Facebook. And here is what Peter had to say. After over 15 years of using Google Ads, I have stopped. The OTAs are just better at it than me and have deeper pockets. They even use our brand name in their ads. I just made the decision to let them win the PPC battle, and I have focused my marketing on social channels and niche SEO, where I can still win for now. Social is an underpriced market just now. It's where Google PPC was around 2003 to 2006. Operators can still do well on social and have direct relationships with their guests, which is their only strategic advantage in the digital era. So far, you may have felt that I have completely abandoned Google Ads as a method to generate revenue. Far from it, but you do need to pick your battles and make sure you have the budget to compete. This is one of the reasons why we advise that you do not put all your full product range on an OTA, but to add those tours you wish to test or the products you find harder to sell direct. For Google, this is a potentially bad news for them as well. From our findings and from speaking with others in the industry, more and more operators are abandoning Google Ads in favour of Facebook ads. The issue with this is that most operators simply advertise products directly on Facebook, just like they would do in Google, except Facebook is a completely different beast. You can find out more about my views on this in my book, Lookers into Bookers. While Google is generating a lot of cash from OTAs who run Google ads, they are equally losing out on those businesses who wish to market directly. OTAs could only cover around 10% of the market share, so for now it may not seem like a big deal, but as they grow in their influence, this is going to hit Google hard in the future. We may even see a start of the emergence of another social media platform taking precedence. Probably not, but it is a possibility. Of course, Google is making its own plays in the tours and activities sector and will no doubt create something that will eat into the profits of the OTAs. But to me, this could be a good thing if it means putting control back into the hands of the operator. Some of the big OTAs have complained that Google is getting too big for its boots and posted drop in profits, wiping out a combined market value of around 13 billion from the three big travel agents, making a severe dent in their shares and making their investors nervous, resulting in the recent closures and sackings. On the other hand, in a recent interview with Focusrite, Glenn Fogel, SEO of Booking Holdings, another major player in this space, he did not seem too concerned about Google and is focusing his business on direct bookings, wishing to bypass Google and OTAs altogether. Can anyone see the irony there? With the growth of OTAs within our industry, I feel change is needed, and needed as a matter of urgency. If they continue on the current trend, one of becoming the more dominant customer-facing brand, effectively making you, the tour activity provider, nothing more than an Uber driver, an employee of those OTAs with no control over your sales channels and no right to your customers' data, it will kill the very heart of our industry. Operators pride themselves on the customer relationships that they build and nurture, and this will be lost behind the brand that they do not control. I believe rules must be there to protect operators, like non-compete clause stopping OTAs competing against their own suppliers. That would be a start at least. TripAdvisor, Booking Holdings, Get Your Guide and many other OTAs can all play an important part in helping build tour operator businesses. But when does it become a detriment to those businesses and the industry as a whole? The time is now for the industry to decide. Do we allow OTAs to dominate our market, or do we take back control and grow direct bookings and become a successful brand in our own right? If we decide on the former, I do fear that the industry will lose its soul.